Apologies for my last video cutting out. My phone actually died, so we're now on the iPad. Anyway, what I was saying was about Ventolin. That was the last thing I spoke about. Ventolin, I have it in inhaler type, I have it in nebulizer type, and as I said, I would rather keep on taking the Ventolin. It can be taken when needed. I would rather take it every day. That way it just keeps the lungs open all the time. Better for exercising if can do. I also take DNase, which other name for that is Dornase Alpha. I take that in nebulizer form. That actually potentially helps with the sinuses and the openings and things like that. They said it would make a wee bit of a difference. It does and it doesn't. It just depends on your day, how your sinuses are that day. So another thing I take is Colamycin. Colamycin is a nebulizer, can also be used as an IV method. I use it as a nebulizer. That's better to take after transplant to help, because even though you've had a transplant and your lungs potentially don't have the CF bugs and things, the airways all still do. So that's all still colonised. So it's better to take these nebulizers to help that. There's nothing you can do about that. CF is never going to go away. Just because you have a transplant, it doesn't take it away. It's still there, but I'm not on oxygen 24 hours a day, which I used to be before transplant. I used to do nasogastric feeding before transplant. Wasn't a good eater whatsoever, really fussy, had no appetite. So I used to pass a tube every single night down my nose before I go to bed. And then after transplant, appetite picked up, everything was great, weight was great. And then in about 2008, 2009, all these problems started happening inside of my cheeks. It felt as if somebody had ran a knife inside my face. It was all sliced open, my lips were starting to break out. So my weight went from a steady 52 kilograms down to about 40 kilograms. So it was a big, gigantic drop. I ended up wearing aged 9 to 10 year olds clothing. I used to go to Primark and buy size 9 to 10 clothes. It was really a difficult time. My bones were all sticking out my back. But this only started gradually happening from 2008 to 2009. This started gradually declining. In 2012, I think it was that year, that Christmas, or 2013, hard to keep up with the amount of things that go on. I phoned my cystic fibrosis team and said, look, I can't do this, I'm in so much pain, couldn't eat. I was trying to force myself, couldn't eat, the pain was unbearable, my weight had plummeted. They said, do you remember how to pass a NG tube? I said yes, it's like second nature. So that was me, back NG feeding, but I kind of overdone it because I was really paranoid about my weight. I used to take up to like 3,000 mils a day, which is a hell of a lot. Like I take Nutrizon Energy, so that comes in a litre bottle or a bag, and it's got like 15,000 calories in it. So, but because I was really self-conscious, because I'd lost all that weight, I was really skinny, I started taking 3 bags a day. So my weight went from very skinny to the biggest I'd ever been in my life. I'd went up to a size 12, I wasn't used to it. It was different for me. But now I'm at a balanced weight now. I'm 55 kilograms, which is good. It's good to have backup weight when you have CF, because if you take ill, you can fall back on that. So I would rather be a wee bit, I would rather be a decent weight. I hate being skinny. I hate not having, as what I would say is a womanly body. It's one of the main things I'm very self-conscious about. I always have been. But there's nothing I can do about it. I can't really complain. I can complain about a lot of things, but I can't complain about the fact that I'm here. So you have to take the good with the bad, obviously. there's not much that maybe people will, everybody's self-conscious about their looks and things like that. Mine's now is this here, my face. Obviously, even when I did put on weight or I lost weight, I've always had a slim face. But now my cheeks are that, they're disfigured inside, which is going to make them plump on the outside. So sometimes there's days where my face is really swollen, my eyes are really swollen, and it's either to do with my sinuses or it's to do with the cheek problems. So I'm still under investigation for the Crohn's disease. They said I don't have Crohn's in my bowel, which is good, but I do definitely have all the signs and symptoms to show that it is in the face. So there's nothing I can do about that. If that's the case, I do eat from time to time, but there is stuff that I'm meant to avoid, which, funnily enough, is all the food I love. So it can be tomatoes, peppers, spices. I'm a big Mexican food fan, so salsa right out the window. Not gonna lie, I do like to treat myself to an odd nachos, covered with salsa, everything on it, but it's not worth the risk to do it all, well, not worth the pain to do it all the time. I can do it, it's just going to leave my face sore. So, but we're all allowed a treat once in a wee while, so I will treat myself to it. Other things that can instigate it is cinnamon. So cinnamon and benzoates, funnily enough, benzoates is in a majority of the stuff that we eat, and actually a lot of products that we use. So if you look in the back of your shampoo bottle, if you look in the back of your food stuff, I don't understand it, I don't know. I'm just told you're not allowed this and you're not allowed that, keep a food diary, E numbers, high E numbers, not allowed that. So it's really annoying, and when you have CF you're meant to be on a full fat diet, so it's difficult when you want to eat all the things that you should be allowed to eat but you can't because you have to. So it's like a rock and a hard place. You're trying to do everything right, but there's always something holding you back. Another one of my favourite foods is prawns. Absolutely love prawns, love fish. I'm highly allergic. I am allergic to seafood. So there's not much you can, that I won't risk that. I mean, that and my face would end up like a puffer fish and I would be in A&E. So I'm not going to do that. Although I would like to risk it for a prawn, but I'm not going to. A lot of the medication here is all in bulk because I can't run out of it. There's no way you can run out of anti-rejection tablets, you just can't do it. I would need to be banging on chemist doors through the night and it can't happen. I haven't actually been hospitalised for CF related things, I think 2 years now. 2 years coming this Christmas, which is brilliant. That's a benefit all on its own. I used to, before transplant, I used to be in every, 2 weeks, so 2 weeks on, 2 weeks home, or 2 weeks on, 3 weeks home. Came to the stage where I didn't want my mum doing my medication at home anymore because I didn't feel it was fair for her. My brother also has CF, so I didn't want her to be doing that all the time, so I actually really enjoyed staying in hospital, to be perfectly honest with you. When I was a child, that was my second family. My childhood was in hospital, but I loved it. I'm never going to complain about it. I had a great time. The staff made it all worthwhile, so that's one thing. I'm never going to sit and complain about my childhood. Yeah, I didn't go out and play like all the other kids in the street or whatever else, but I still loved it. I mean, I used to get to sit with all the nurses through the night and go to staff rooms and have cups of tea, even though I wasn't meant to be sitting in staff rooms, and I had a great time. They used to make me uniforms and things like that, and badges that said like Dr. Rachel, and so people like that in your life definitely make your childhood worthwhile. I could not thank the people enough for doing everything they did for me. And I still went to school. I still went to school, even if I was in hospital for an admission. I used to get a taxi every day at school. So I tried very, very hard not to miss out on that point of view. The difference was I didn't go out after school to play. My brother, he's totally different. He's always kept really well. Very seldom has he had any hospital admissions. We're chalk and cheese, totally different, but I'm very proud of the life he has. He works. He's I can't toot him enough. Like he's really a total different from me. We've got total different lives. He doesn't take as much medication as me. A lot of people wouldn't know there was absolutely anything wrong with him. Me, I've always been ill from childhood. From I was a baby, I was always quite poorly. After transplant, I've done really well. I have had occasional setbacks. There has been things that have happened, such as when I caught the swine flu. My appendix burst, and part of when the appendix burst, it apparently was like acid in the stomach, so that latched onto my small bowel and I had to have part of that removed. Luckily I didn't have to have the full lot of it removed, which is good. Part of it. But there's lots of things, and it's hard to sit at this point in time and say this happened and remember a lot, because quite a lot you do forget, and then you could be sitting later on and go, oh that happened as well, and oh I've had that as well, or I've joined a lot of CF pages on Facebook. Most of the people on it are from America, so I find reading about all the stuff that they go through is totally different from like people in the UK. The healthcare sounds totally different from what we get. Quite a lot of them have had sinus operations without having to go into big discussions with their doctors. It's just a case of it's normality to get it. Whereas here, I've been kind of complaining about this for a few years, and that's it, I'm getting an answer for it now. So hopefully by the end of this year, I'll have had my sinus operation done, which will make the openings better. I'll be able to breathe better, my lung function will get higher. My lung function is increasing all the time. Just over 3 years ago, say 3.5 years ago, my health did start to decline through reasons that were just things that were going on in life, and it just everything was going down, and I thought that was it. I thought it was chronic rejection starting. I thought the worst, and then all of a sudden I had things in life changed, and I met my partner, and I've been with him 3 years now. He's totally understanding of my condition. He loves to learn more about it. It's actually talking about my condition that kind of lured him in. He was really interested, which surprisingly, when I go out, I don't talk about it all the time. I don't like people to judge me because I have cystic fibrosis. I don't want that. So when I met him, for some reason, I just started talking about it, and he took a really big interest in it. And 3 years down the line, I'm still with him. And 3 years since I've been with him, every hospital appointment I've been to, apart from 2 years ago when I took electricity, that was a cold that developed into a chest infection, but apart from that, my lung function has just soared through the roof, totally increased. And I'm not going to say it's because of him, but I'm going to say maybe it's the influence that he had on me or has on me that makes me go, right, okay then, let's make it another 15 years. And 3 years down the line, we have 4 dogs together. Yeah, 4. And I have never been as happy as what I am now. I definitely think he's a big influence, or maybe he's just gave me that bit of willpower to progress it, to keep going, to have another 15 if another 15 happens. I'm just excited to next year be reaching my 30th birthday. I'm so excited for that. Like, I'm definitely having a party, and as I said, and I get told I wasn't going to make it to 13. So the fact that I'm going to be 30 next year is a big, I'm so excited for it. I cannot wait to be in the 30 club. But I mean, before transplant, I mean, I signed the papers for my transplant in March 2004. And I got to sign the papers myself because they said that I understood fully everything, so my mum and dad didn't sign papers, it was all me. I signed them on the 22nd of March 2004, and they gave me...
There is a reminder for Rach.
That's a reminder to take my anti-rejection medication at 8 o'clock. They let me make the decision, and they asked me if I wanted to do a domino transplant, which is I would receive heart and lungs and someone would receive my heart, someone who only needed a heart, because my heart was still in good condition, there was no problems with it, but they say it's easier to take out the whole part. They describe it like a car engine, so it's easier to take out the heart and lungs together, and then that other person only needed a heart. So I done that. I signed the papers for that, and then they gave me a time limit. Well, they said when we signed the papers that you only have until the summer, or the end of the summer that year. And 6 weeks later, on the 17th of May 2004, I got the phone call to go to Great Ormond Street in London, and I had my domino heart and lung transplant, and I gave my heart to someone else received my heart, and now I'm sitting doing this 15 years later. So this is something I never ever thought I would be able to do, but I think it's a good thing. I think I should be doing this, I should be telling people my story. I've always wanted to get it out there. I'm not finished. Definitely not finished. There's a lot more to happen. There's a lot more I'm not finished I want to achieve, and I'm going to make sure I'll do it. And I want to prove everybody wrong that said that I wouldn't be able to do this and I wouldn't be able to do that. And big accomplishments are, I'm going to be 30 next year. I've completed high school. I've passed my driving test. I have 4 dogs. One of them you could probably hear in the background. I have a home. It's just all these wee things are big things. So we'll see what happens. I have a lot of appointments this month and next month. My diary for hospitals is absolutely jam-packed, but it's answers I'm waiting for more things, as in I'm waiting for more answers of like allergies in the face, see what I can avoid to help. There's appointments coming up for rheumatology because I have problems now with my knees. So I'm waiting for answers back for that to see if there's anything I can do to help it, because I'm actually allergic to a lot of pain relief. I'm allergic to codeine, cocodamol, tramadol, Nefrapam, not allowed Brufen. Brufen is an absolute no-go, can't have sprays, can't have gels, nothing. So basically when my knee My knees cause me problems. My feet retain a lot of fluid, so that's me. I'm basically up for the night. I do like to try and stay sociable, but now it's getting to the point when I do go out, I really need to sit on my bum. Like I can't walk about as much as what I used to be able to do. I feel like I'm slowly losing that wee part of independence, which I don't want to be. I'm quite stubborn. So, like I went to Blackpool a couple of months ago with my boyfriend and his family, and my knees were absolutely killing me. I felt as if I kind of let them down a wee, well, holding them back a wee bit. And I kind of bit the bullet when I come home and said, right, okay, it's going to come to the stage where if I am going on trips like that, maybe I do need to resort to a wheelchair, maybe I do need to take something, some sort of help, which I think I need to take a positive from it, because it could be a lot worse. Obviously, there's always somebody worse off than yourself that is out there. So I think that it is going to come to the stage that I will need to do this. But right now I'm just trying to push through it, and if I can push through it, I can push through it. If I need to walk about and be ladled up at night, then that's fine. But it's this is basically just me telling everyone about myself. This isn't always going to be depressing stories and sad stories and things like that, and I just basically want to share my journey and make people more aware of the condition, and that it's not just because you have a transplant you're cured. There's lots of, transplant has its benefits, but it also has its cons. So people just assume that that's it, she's had a transplant, she's fine. There's so much more. There's so much more. There's so much more that I probably don't even know about myself, that I'm only slowly finding out as time goes on. As I said, that I'm having a wee bit of a dilemma with my CEF team. I'm finding out stuff that I didn't even know about myself. So I'm hoping that gets better as well. I'm going to have to speak thoroughly to my CES team and say to them, look, I'm not happy about this, I want to know more about myself, you really need to start telling me, because now, excuse me, I'm coming home and I'm zero researching online, something that you don't always want to do. But if you don't research and you don't know what you're talking about when you go to these clinic appointments, then I feel like it's easy to get panned off, and I don't want panned off. I want to know what I'm taking, I want to know what I have, I want to know why I'm on it, I want to know, does this interact with this and does this interact with that. So I think now I'm becoming a lot more aware. I think when you're a teenager, you're younger and you're kind of like, right, okay, I've got CF, it's just this thing that I know that I have. But now, as you get older, you need to know what you're talking about, because doctors will just like I can't fault the NHS. The NHS is a great thing, but there definitely are some doctors out there that they don't bother. I've actually been to, for example, I went to rheumatology 6 months ago. I'm due back in a couple of weeks. It's not going to go down well, but I was at rheumatology 6 months ago, and with this pain in my knee, and the pain in my knee is coming to the point where I can walk 5 minutes out the end of my street and I'm in absolute agony. That shouldn't be happening. I've actually got a photograph on my phone of this size. Now I've got quite slim ankles, so it's very noticeable when my leg balloons up. So if you can see that, I don't know if that's very good lighting or whatever, but that is my foot swollen, and that's the water that it builds up in the foot, makes it harder to walk. And but I didn't have the photo in my phone at this time. I've started taking photos now of my leg, because when I went into the room, I felt like this doctor just wasn't interested, and she just said to me, well, I've been reading on the computer and I see that you've actually suffered from depression in the past, so is it not in your head? And that's frustrating. That makes you really angry, because at the end of the day, why would I go to all this length to get this referral to come and see this person if it's something that I think's in my head? I didn't make up that picture. That's very much the state that my legs can end up in daily if I walk about on it too much, which now I try and avoid. But I also don't want to be stranded in the house and stuck up in the house, too scared to go outside in case my leg balloons up or whatever. So I'm going, that's kind of what I mean by you get some people that are quite ignorant. And she wasn't interested in checking my bones or anything. She said, well, do you really want me to send you for a scan? And that hurts your head. So that's what I mean by there are some people that can be quite ignorant. Or when you go in a room and they say, maybe a GP, oh, I've really been feeling unwell, I've got a terrible cold, it's developing out a chest infection, and then they'll say, well, what do you want me to do about it? Can you not just go home and deal with it? Have you took flu capsules? And then you get frustrated and you go, right, okay, whatever. And I've seen myself ready to walk out the door and then they'll say, oh, you've got CF. Come and sit back down, I didn't know that. Well, you would think these people would read your notes before you walk in the room. And these are people that are meant to be dealing with their everyday care. So, but there are some of my CF team that are absolutely amazing, that I can't fault them. And then there's some side of them which I do request not to see, purely because there's only two people in my CF team that I don't want to see. One's, she's not a consultant, she's like a registrar, she's like under the consultants. She's one of them, and I've had a wee bit of disagreement with her because I found her to be quite rude. But I found out that I'm not the only CF patient in my hospital to say that, and I found out that I'm not the only person, and then members of staff have said the same thing, so they've got the same issue that I have. I'm not just being the same, or just saying that. One of the nurses, I actually did phone in 2015 when I had the head pain. The other consultant for it was meningitis, and I said to her, I'm really ill, can't lift my head, blah 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 blah. And she said, oh, that's not our criteria. And they told me to go to my local hospital, which, as I said, they said, oh, it's meningitis. Then they sent me home, couldn't find anything. Went back to my CF team, my consultant actually found me, sent me up there, and he said, well, Rachel, you've got sinusitis and that's to do with your CF. So I had to tell him, well, your nurse told me that wasn't your criteria. So that's a bit of a head nip, because then it kind of puts you off phoning, because you think, well, am I wasting time? Who do I contact? So I'm going to have to discuss these things with these people, because now I need to make myself heard, because these wee things, if they don't get dealt with, such as most of the sinus problems, this can affect my CF and this can affect my transplant. So if these wee things don't get discussed and properly sorted, then it could make things worse for me and not better. And obviously I don't want that. I want to make my life as long as what I can. Sometimes I read stories that people have lived to like 70 and things like that with CF. I'd love to be one of these people, especially because I get told I was going to have such a short life expectancy. I like to prove people wrong, so I'm really hoping that I can do that. And I hope that my future posts that are going to come, I'll show sick days, I'll show good days, and I'll show hospital days, and I want to make people more aware, more know more about it, and the more I find out, the more I want to share. I think I'm not done with writing yet. I've got a lot that I want to write about, so I'm hoping that I can do that too. And I know this has been quite a long video, but as I said, this is for people that don't know me or don't know anything about me or my medication or my life. Then this is what this is about. But I won't keep going on, and I'll speak to everyone again soon. Thanks for listening.